Today we are going to look at circles and arcs. So a circle is a set of all points that are equidistant from the center. A radius is a segment with one endpoint at the center and one on the circle. So right here is our radius. Congruent circles are circles with congruent radii. So we have two circles that would have the same radius. A diameter is a segment that contains the center, and it goes from the endpoints of the circle. So this side, it goes through the center, so that's our diameter. And our diameter is always double the radius, and the radius is half of the diameter. A central angle is a vertex. Vertex is the center, and the radii are the sides. So in here, this would be an example of a central angle. Semicircle is half of a circle. So here's our semicircle. And adjacent arcs are arcs with exactly 1 point in common. So if we have our arc here and this arc, they share this point. So these are adjacent arcs because they have that point in common. Alright, so let's find in the circle O, AB is a diameter, and the measure of angle BC is 47 degrees. We want to find the measure of angle CAB. So CAB. So the measure of that arc from C to A to B. Well, we know in a circle it has a total of 360 degrees, and we want everything but that 47. So if we subtract 47 from 360, we're going to end up with 313 degrees. Alright, to find the circumference of the circle in terms of pi, we have two formulas. One involves radius, and the other one involves diameter. So if we want to find the circumference of the circle in terms of pi using this, we know this is our radius because it starts at the center and goes out to our endpoint. So we're going to use circumference equals 2 pi times our radius. So circumference equals 2 pi, and our radius is 19. And I know 2 times 19 is 38 pi. And so it's in terms of pi, so my answer is done. So I just have to finish with my units, which is inches squared. So to the back side, we want to find the circumference of a circle with a diameter of 12 inches squared. So we want to use circumference equals pi times our diameter, since we're working with diameter, and our diameter is 12. So this time, since we don't have it saying in terms of pi, 12 times pi, we can find out that the circumference will be 37 and 7/10 centimeters squared. So now we want to find the arc length of AB. And arc length, the formula is the central angle divided by 360 degrees times by 2 pi radius. So if we take a look for the arc length of AB, our central angle is 85 degrees. And we're going to divide that by 360, multiplied by 2 pi, and it says our radius is 8, so we're multiplying that by 8. So 85 divided by 360, we're going to round it, so it's going to be 24 hundredths times by 2 times 8, which is 16 pi. And it doesn't say in terms of pi, so if we do 24 hundredths times by 16 pi, our measure of the arc will be 12 and 6/100 inches. Oh, that's not squared either, because we're not finding area, we're finding the circumference. Did I square them? Yep. So sorry, when we're finding circumference, we do not square our units. So 38 pi inches. This one's 37.7 centimeters, and this one's 12 and 6/100 inches. for a circle of a radius 6 feet, we want to find the arc length of a central angle of 6 degrees. So we have central angle of 6 degrees. So we divide it by 360 times by 2 pi, and our radius is 6. 6 divided by 360, when we round it, we get 0 and 2/100 times by 2 times 6, which is 12 pi. So to finish, we get 2/100 times by 12 pi will get us, 200. 75/100. We're working with feet. Remember, since it's finding the distance, we're not squaring our units. So let's look at the last example. The diameter of a basketball rim. So if we look at the top of a basketball rim, the diameter of it is 18 inches. And we have a standard basketball. So here's our rim. And our basketball has a circumference. So going all the way around, the circumference equals 30 inches. We want to know how much extra space there is between the ball and the rim when it goes straight through the center. So if we're working with diameter in the rim, we want to use the diameter formula for our circumference. So we know that the circumference is 30, so we're going to plug that into our formula. And when we divide both sides by pi, 30 divided by pi is 9 and 55/100 for our diameter. So what that means is our basketball, when it goes through the center, the diameter of it is 9 and 55/100. So how much extra space is there? Well, if we have 18 and we subtract by 9 55/100, we're left with 8 and 45/100. But that's combining those two together. So if we divide both sides by, or divide it by 2, each side is 4 and 225 thousandths. So if we have 4 on both, all the way around. So our answer is 4 and 225 thousandths inches. So that's how much extra space.